this is Jamaica 5288. Today or tonight, we're going to plant a tray full of cabbage and some squash with a side of squash. So I have golden acre cabbage here from Homestead Heart, and I have red acre cabbage here. So I'm going to plant these two, and then on the side, I'm gonna plant some winter squash. Y'all know this is Dollar Tree. You know I shop there, right? I am not gonna stop. I could order from where I want. My garden, my rules, right? I will see you in a second. We're gonna get this stuff planted for fall. I recommend you all start early so that when, you know, late August, mid-August comes around and the temperatures start to cool off, these seedlings will be ready to put in the ground, and you get a harvest in around October-ish area. So let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Jamaica 5288, and we are starting seeds again. Looky here, I just dropped one of them. I got seeds all over this table again. They're all planted. They're coming up, some of them. I got my striped beans coming up, but I have a whole bunch of them. But today's video is going to be about growing golden acre cabbage, red acre cabbage, and some winter squash. So let's get to it, all right? I am so excited because I love butternut squash and I want some more cabbage. I had a crop, but the bugs got it. I planted just a little bit because I was afraid that it was gonna be too hot, but it's fall. This is a fall crop. So I need to get these in the seed tray and get them in the ground. And this is winter squash, butternut squash. It's good, oh my God. It's good. You can make a pie out of this joker. Instead of pumpkin, you can use this. And they store well. So let's get to it. Let's get to planting these things. Let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Jamaica 5288, and I have started my seeds. I have broccoli, squash. I don't have winter squash planted yet. I have a bunch of beans, zucchini. I don't know what that is. Wax beans, that's what it is. And a bunch of peppers and tomatoes planted for fall. Now I want to try and plant, because this did not work out for me in the spring. I have cabbage, and I also want to try to grow some more butternut squash. I didn't plant that yet. So the cabbage grew. It's not that it didn't germinate and it didn't grow. It's that the bugs ate it and damaged it so bad that I had to give it to the chickens. So I'm gonna grow it again, and this time I'm gonna put it on the other side of the garden where the bug traffic is not as high, and I'm gonna put down some diatomaceous earth to try to stop the bugs. So I have bought these from Homestead Heart. I have golden acre cabbage and red acre cabbage. I've already put my tray out, and I am going to plant 12 of each. And then I'll have these two columns for my winter squash. So let me go and get some water, wet this thing down, and we'll get started. We're gonna plant basically cabbage and winter squash. So those of you who have been with me since the beginning know that I use a white plate for smaller seeds. And I'm a lefty. I have my marker here, and this is what I use to wet the soil. When you have small seeds, the possibility of you making them run off into another pod is very high. But if you use a mustard bottle, look, it doesn't go anywhere. It's not as harsh on the movement of the soil and the seeds. We don't have any seeds in here yet. As a watering can. Somehow you get really close on this thing and just soak it. So that's what I do on all of my seed trays now. I use a mustard bottle. So we're almost there. It's at dusk. I need to close the chicken coop and let my dogs out for the night. Well, for a couple of hours. So after I squirt this on here, and get them to look the way I want them to look, I am going to let them out. Okay, the whole bottle's gone. That's good. I have another bottle here for after we put the seeds in. So I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so I'm back. So we're gonna plant some cabbage. I love cabbage because I like sauerkraut and I like, pseudo kimchi, and I like egg rolls. You can make a lot of things with cabbage. Cabbage doesn't store well in jars, like if you cook it and you boil it. I like steamed cabbage. I just like cabbage in general. And they're not expensive, but if I can grow it, why not, right? So we're gonna use our plate method. So let me push this over and show you what we're gonna do. My table is dirty because I've already been planting seeds. I just planted broccoli, squash, and and long beans. So table's dirty already, it's okay. So what I do is this is the golden acre cabbage, and I take it, the plate should have been clean, my hands are dirty, and I pour some seeds out on the plate. All right, now these seeds are a little bit bigger than I thought it should be, and I forgot one thing. I need a glass, but I can use this. How about that? Improvise, girl, improvise. I don't think this is gonna work. These seeds are a little bit bigger than I thought they would be. Let me see. Oh, that works. So I have the toothpick methods. I pick them up 2 by 2 and I wipe them into the pod that I want them in. I don't bury them. I just wipe them in because I'm gonna use a spray bottle to spritz the top of this to help them germinate. So then you just wipe off your toothpick and you get some water, you wet it, fling it, and you pick them up 2 by 2. You know, they say patience is a virtue, right? I find this relaxing to do it little by little. Pick up another 2. Let me spread these out. 1, 2. The water acts as a like a piece of tape. Picks it up. Fling it. 1. Uh-oh. One of them flipped. 2 of them just bit the dust. They're somewhere on the floor. Okay. And I'm going to put these 2 in and just rub it along the top. So this row is already done. 2 more rows to go. And I'm putting 2 per pod. This helps you not to waste a bunch of seeds because look, I put 2 in there. I mean, you can put 2 or 3. 2 is a good number though, especially when you have fresh seeds. If they were older, I'd probably put more. So I'm picking these up. Uh-oh. Here we go, girl. Pick it up. 1, nope. 1, 2. And I can see them, so that's a good thing. I put too many seeds on this plate. 1, 2. And I'm gonna put them right here. Rub them off. You're so cute. It's interesting how something so small can develop into something so big. I have a gnat in here. And there's a fly buzzing around me. It's always something. Always some bug or something that's trying to get close to me, I guess. Get my attention. There's 2 right there. Ooh, barely hanging on like a thread. Hanging on by a thread, but it's here. I got it in. There they go. They're in. Get another 2. Patience, girl, patience. I lost my water. I guess those 2 are too big. They won't get on there. Where was I? I don't know where I left off. I know I'm on this row. Let me put 1 here. Can't get it off my finger. 1 there. And 1 there. That's 2. That's 2. That's 2. Okay, so I did, let me put 1 there for good measure. I don't see anything there, but there might be there. So, all 12 of these are done. All 12, right there. And I'm going to put a little straw right here to mark it. Then we have to put these back into their little spot. Maybe I'll just make this whole tray a cabbage tray. No, I don't want a whole cabbage tray. 12 is enough. Might be 24. So let's put these back. It's always good to have some quiet time to yourself, to have some kind of peace. During the day, it seems like I'm always working, always to have something to do. It's always like I am rushing. I feel like I'm rushing through life. So we're going to put the red acre cabbage in. That's just how I feel. Always busy. I guess that's a good thing, huh? Idle time is the devil's workshop. I think I have enough. Okay, on to the next 12. Pick them up. Here we are. Holding on by 3, but they're on there. Drop them. Pick them up. Drop them. You're like one of those construction workers where they're picking up something for a building and they're just dropping it where it needs to go, or levering it where it needs to go. There we go. I knew a guy, he was a Jamaican guy. He used to come to the United States because he was one of those guys who work on the high rises and on the bridges, because he was not afraid of heights. And a lot of people, including me, are afraid of heights. And he would just go up there and do his work. And then he was on a work visa. And then he would go back to Jamaica after he finished his contract, and the company he worked for would call him back. He'd come and do his work again, and he was one of those crane operators. And he was the crane operators, the ones that hang off the side of the building. He was one of those guys. The dangerous ones. Not the one on the ground, the one up in the air. And he's like, oh, I love it, I love it. And I was like, wow. People can do some amazing things. They can. And God makes all kind of people with different kind of skill set. What one man won't do, another man will. Or what woman can't do or won't do, another one will. And that's a good thing. Everybody's different. Everybody has their blessing, their path in life. You just have to find it. That is the hard part, finding out what you're supposed to be, or what you're supposed to be doing here. You won't know unless you try. Everybody is given a talent. Everybody. I remember my grandmother used to say, don't cow down the children, which means, you know, in Jamaica households, they don't want you to talk, especially if it's a grown-up conversation. But some people make their children so afraid to speak that they don't talk at all. And they lose, sometimes they lose their blessing because they're afraid. Because their family makes them afraid of everything. So don't cow down your children. Let them be who they're going to be. You might not like what you see, and at least you'll know what it is and you can correct it. But if you cow them down and don't know where they're coming from, everything is a surprise. I remember there was a preacher's daughter who turned up pregnant in our neighborhood, and he thought that she was a virgin. She wasn't a virgin. She was sneaky. But it all came out. It's so embarrassing to him. But things happen, right? You gotta know your kids, so if you cow them down, they're not gonna tell you anything. Or if you make them quiet and don't have an open relationship. I'm not saying to be friends with them, because that's not the right thing either. But if you make them afraid to tell you anything, you won't know what's going on until it's too late. And that's what happened to him. Probably couldn't believe his sweet little girl would end up like that. Sure. I remember when I was a teenager, I worked at McDonald's. I've been working since I was 16. And my mom used to always compare me to this girl 2 doors down. Her name was Effie. And she was always saying, why can't you be like Effie? You know, Effie is so nice and this and that. And so I just happened to be looking out the window one day, and Effie was pregnant, right? They had cowed down Effie so much that they didn't know what she was doing because she was secretive. She became secretive because she knew that the punishment would be severe if she spoke her mind. So she didn't say nothing, but she ended up pregnant. She couldn't hide that for long. I mean, you could only hide that so long. So I saw her, and my mom is consistently comparing me to this girl. Like the girl was an angel because the girl didn't talk. So I told her, I said, hey, Effie is pregnant. We were still in high school. No, Effie not pregnant. I said, she's pregnant. And it took my brother to tell her, yeah, she's pregnant, for her to believe it, because the girl seemed like an angel. But she didn't talk. Because they cowed her down. They were so strict with that girl. She could not. I remember asking her when we were little girls. I've known this girl since I was in 3rd grade. And I used to come to her house because we were on the same block. And I said, hey, Effie, can you come outside to play? Can you come outside to play? And you know they would not let that girl come outside to play. They kept her in the house all her life. The only time she got to go anywhere before she got pregnant was to school. And back home, and she stayed in the house. She had a bunch of brothers, but they didn't even come out that much. The whole family was like, you know, they made those children, because they wanted to come out, they made those children stay in the house all the time. Their whole childhood, they were never allowed outside to play. We'd be out there playing double dutch and hopscotch and kickball and stickball and all the things that children are supposed to do at that time. I don't know what they're doing right now. They didn't let her do it. Her aunt and her mom kept her in the house with them. They were trying to save her, I guess, from the world. But you don't let your children experience or get some kind of street savviness or street any kind of street, you know, streetwise, or play sociable. Yeah, that's the word. If you don't allow your kids to become sociable, they starve for attention, and the first person who shows them a little bit of attention, or the first time they get away from you and get somebody that shows them a little bit of attention, you've lost them. And then they had she got pregnant, so that was the end of that. That was the end of the comparison for my mom. Her little angel was not an angel anymore, and she looked at me like, oh, wow. And I was like, yeah, wow. And I was determined I was not going to end up like that. Let some little boy ruin me. I remember there was a guy my brother hung out with. His nickname was Cartoon, believe it or not. And this kid, because he was a little kid, was going around getting all of the junior high school girls pregnant. Started off with one girl, and then he kept on going. Then he came around to try to find me. Came around, he had his hair all greased up, and I could see him. He had a turtleneck on. He was wearing black and white. He got all dressed up, trying to impress me. He already had, I think, 2 or 3 kids at that time, and he was about 16. I was like, nah, brother. Go back around the corner to your girlfriend, Latricia. You ruined that girl. Or she ruined herself. They ruined her. So he didn't care. He was just a little boy running around, messing around with whoever he could. Whoever fell for it, for the okie doke. I was not going to be his next victim. I don't know how. He didn't come back because I guess he sensed that I didn't want him. And my brother, he was so impressed with this guy. Oh, Cartoon wants to talk to you. I was like, that damn clown. What kind of name is that anyway? Little ghetto kids. A bunch of little ghetto kids. Cartoon. I don't know what his real name was, but that's all we knew him by. Who knows what his real name was? Cartoon. We had all kind of guys with weird names. We had Cartoon, Unique, Supreme. That's my nephew's name, but that's his real name. I'm like, man, y'all out of control. Coming up with these nicknames. Weird nicknames. Cartoon. I hope that wasn't his real name. I don't know. I didn't talk to him no more. Came around there with a little greasy hair. Greasy afro. It was all glistening and whatnot. I was like, I am not impressed, brother. You need to go back around the corner with your what kind of bike did you have? A dirt bike. Go back around the corner with your dirt bag and stick to what you know. You got a family to take care of. A family, brother. A family. All right, so we have our cabbage done. I'm thinking about that guy right now, and I'm like, it's comical. So we have our golden acre cabbage right here. We have our red acre cabbage here, and then our winter squash are in these 2 rows. I'll mark them in a second. I'll be right back with you. So it's always interesting how decisions you make early on in life can affect you for the rest of your life. That girl, she never stood a chance. Once she gave him any attention, she was doomed. When she had those babies, she was a baby. She was 15 maybe. 2 babies. And he went on to find somebody else. Or to ruin somebody else. And her life was harder. She's walking around 2 little babies. One in a stroller, I could see her. One was in a stroller and she was holding the other one by the hand. Okay. My mom used to accuse me of liking people that I had no intentions of ever dating or talking to. I remember this one guy, she was so upset about him. Would stay away from him. He's no good. I was like, I don't want him. He used to stand out. He used to stand outside of our gate. Now I'd be sitting on the porch because sometimes they told me not to leave and I couldn't go nowhere. And he would stand outside of the gate and talk to me. I didn't know what he was up to, but they did. They did not like him. See my grandmother's face. She would just squint her eyes and tell me to come in the house. He was a trip too. He was something else. Them little boys, man. Little boys. Watch out, little girls. Watch your little girls. Some little boys are something else, and they only want one thing. One thing. Let me go and get some more straws. I'll be right back. Funny how I talk about little boys, and some grown men act just like those little boys. I'm like, dude, are you going to grow up? Please. You're 50-something years old. Grow up. Just playing high school or junior high school games. I'm like, what is wrong with you? I got too much time. I got too much to lose to waste my time on you. And it's just too aggravating, and I can't do it. I don't have the patience for that crap. And I have one girlfriend, or I should say one acquaintance, who cannot be without a boyfriend or a husband. She's been married and then she has had multiple boyfriends. And I'm like, you think that defines you as a person, a man, or a woman for that matter? You define you. You have to learn to love yourself. You can't love anybody else. You don't love yourself. If you can't stand to be around you, why do you think I want to be around you? Some people cannot. I remember one girl, she told me she says, I don't do alone well. I'm like, wow. She couldn't be alone. Golden acre cabbage. And there's a lot of people like that. They hold on. They hold on to relationships that have been done. That they should have been, dissolved. They just stay there because they don't want to be alone. Golden cabbage. Now I'm not talking about husband and wife. Now I don't have nothing to do with it. Like I have a girlfriend who's, you know, they fighting right now. They're not getting along. They ain't fighting, but it's kind of like they got this unsaid, you know, unspoken anger between the two of them, and I don't get involved in that because that is a curse. You do not get in between a husband and wife ever, ever. Let them figure it out. Do what they want to do. I don't give any advice unless it's good advice. Because you made a promise. And if you break that promise, I don't want anything to do with it. That's your decision, and you have to live with that. Not me telling you, girl, if I were you, I would do this. That you bring curses into your life by getting involved in somebody else's marriage. Don't do it. Even if they ask you for advice, unless he's beating her, then I would say, well, you know what, you need to go. You need to get away from him before he kills you. That's the only reason. That's one of the only ways I can, in my mind, justify getting involved in somebody's marital affairs. Otherwise, I don't business. That's what Jamaican saying. I don't business. You married him, you stick with it. No, you can't stay over my house overnight unless he hits you. Did he hit you, girl? No, he and I just had a fight, and we were arguing. Oh, no, girl. Go back home. I had one girlfriend, she was cheating on her husband. I felt bad for him. See, I don't think he knew, and I don't think he deserved it, but she ended up paying for it because the guy she cheated with was Satan reincarnated. You bring that bad karma on yourself. She was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And the guy was telling her all kind of stuff that she needed, she wanted to hear. He was a bum. And she lost a good man. And she didn't realize it was a good man until it was all over, and she had ruined her marriage. But that was her decision to make. Nobody gets involved in that. That is her cross to bear. No one else should get involved in that. No one else. Not me or anyone else. People always giving out, advice, but they don't take the same. Most people who give advice don't practice what they preach. So you be careful who you listen to. If I were you, I would do this. Be careful of that person. They give you the advice that they themselves would not do it. And you can look at their past and say, wait a minute, isn't it similar to what happened to you? No, that was different. No, it wasn't. You're not practicing what you preach. Giving out bad advice. Or advice that they wouldn't follow themselves. Okay. So I got them all marked. I have golden cabbage right here, red cabbage right here, and butternut squash right here. And because I'm extra special, I'm going to water it down a little bit more. I love butternut squash. And I got some butternut squash, and I still got some plants out there, but they're not doing well. So I'm going to do it again. See if I can get this to thrive. And the cabbage, yeah, I'm doing that again because the suckers, I I don't know what was eating it. I don't know what was eating it, but whatever it was, I think it was roly-polies and other things. It ate it down to nothing. It look so terrible. I think you saw it on one of the videos. I'm not afraid to show, you know, damaged stuff, but you work so hard. See me doing this? You work so hard to get this stuff started, and then the bugs come and they tear it up. Okay. So I'm done. I got a mess here, but I have some more seeds in here. How many seeds do I have in here? They don't give you a lot. I got 2 more seeds. 2 more seeds. So I have 12 golden cabbage, 12 red cabbage, and 2, 4, 6, 8 butternut. Well, did I put 2 in there? 18 butternut, and all of these have double seeds in them, so I'll get something from it. I hope you all enjoy my stories because I have a whole bunch of them. I know that everybody has experiences in life, and I know that my experiences are probably similar to some of the ones that you have, or different than the ones you have. Who knows? Maybe I'm helping somebody because life will teach you some lessons. Life will throw you for a loop. If you don't watch out, you'll be making the same mistake over and over again. So, there is my 4th tray. I'm so happy. I'm starting all over again. It's a new beginning, a whole new world. So we still have stuff out there that's growing. We'll see what happens. I've been watering it every day. I've got butternut squash. No, I have butternut squash over there. I don't know if there's any squash on it right now because most of them have died back. I have sweet potatoes. I have kale, tomatoes. I don't know, I have a bunch. The beans have died off. That's why I planted so many beans, because fresh beans, oh, they're so good. You could eat them straight off the stalk. They are so good. But I digress. So I got beans, and I got squash, and I got cabbage, and I got tomatoes, and I got peppers, all different kind of peppers. All of this stuff, and broccoli. It's all planted here. So we'll see. I don't know if I forgot anything, but if I do, I still have time. It's July, and it's time for you all to start planting your crops for fall, if you live down south. This is Jamerica 5288. I thank you for your time, and I will see you on the next one. Stay blessed. Blessings up. Prayers up. Blessings down. How about that? Y'all take care. Bye.